Hey guys, this is Blue S Master 91. I am back with another quick deck profile. This time, something that, surprising to no one, I've been messing around with. It is the Light and Darkness Ritual, but we'll be using a Blue as White Dragon build for it. This past weekend, I opted to go with this build versus the Sacred Beast build that I got from my buddy that I will profile at some point. Uh, and that was because this had a little bit of a more powerful end board. So it's very simple: blue eyes, and then one jet. So two blue eyes, one jet, the three sage, three maiden, and one Veiler make up the bits of the Blue Eyes engine. You have your Roar, your Three Wishes, and then your True Light, along with Ultimate Fusion, because we are able to use Magia very quickly, and the Mausoleum. Following those up, we have our Light and Darkness package. So we have our 3 Black Chaos. We're only running 2 Skull, 3 of the Griffo, and 1 of each Ritual. That leaves us a lot of room. So we have 2 Fua. I didn't really like having the 3. It seemed to brick a little bit more often. I'm honestly debating about cutting Fua completely. We have our 3 Ash, 2 Crown. Crown came up a lot yesterday. 1 Called By, and then we have our 2 Fallen in the Virtuous. Oh, we also do have the Blue Eyes Trap. Getting into our extra deck, we have the Ultimate Dragon to go into Magia. We have the Neo Ultimate. 2 Tyrant Dragons. 2 came up a lot yesterday. Our Albion, the Cypher Divine, Ultimate Dragon, Crimson Dragon combo piece for the 2 spirits. Yes, it is only 2 Spirit Dragon. We are on the single Cosmic Blazar for the moment, the single Ecclesia, and then the 2 Link 1 Blue Eyes. For the side deck, we have our 2 Golem, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Bell. We have 2 copies of Harmonia because I only own 2 copies of Harmonia. 2 copies of Perulia, which again I may or may not keep. 2 Super Poly, which may actually make Magia a Super Poly target, courtesy of the fact that the rituals are running around everywhere. The final copy of Crown, our Duster, and the Judgment. So, the thing I found with this deck is it's fairly consistent. Like, this isn't an awful hand at all, because you can toss out the Black Chaos and immediately get your Mind Shuffle online. You can use the Mind Shuffle at that point, adding the Skull, dumping the Skull, using the Skull's effect to go right into your Light and Darkness Ritual, grabbing one of the 2 Ritual monsters. The trap is of no concern. We can go with Wishes, dumping the Crown. We can then grab... How far can I get this turn? We can grab the Ultimate Fusion and the Maiden. Maiden's effect can then activate, letting us grab our 2 Light. We can then use True Light's effect, grabbing the Roar, and tossing it face down. Now we go into our normal summon of Sage. Sage lets us grab the effect Veiler. And then we immediately use him to link summon. We get our Spirit Dragon. We add the Mausoleum to our hand. We'll activate the Mausoleum. We can activate the Roar, grabbing Blue Eyes in defense. We can immediately banish the Wishes, grabbing the Ultimate Dragon. And we'll be able to go right into Magia this turn. Cool. So, like I said, it's super simple to go into the Ultimate Dragon, getting out your Tyrant, and then immediately you get Magia. We can use our Spirit Dragon's effect, going into Blue Eyes, summoning him in attack mode, which triggers our Maiden. Maiden's effect lets her resummon in defense. And then we have our additional normal summon. We can synchro using Effect Veiler and Blue Eyes. summoning out the Spirit Dragon in defense. We have the... We don't need to do that yet. We can then use Mausoleum's effect, targeting Maiden. Maiden's effect will then trigger, letting us resummon Blue Eyes once again. So we dump the Blue Eyes from deck, we get our Blue Eyes back, and then we can Synchro once again. Going into our second copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, we'll utilize the first quick effect, and the second quick effect will go Ultimate Dragon and Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon's effect, targeting the Ultimate Dragon, going into Cypher Divine Dragon. And while that's not a perfect end board, that's pretty dang close. Now, we go into our opponent's turn. We have True Light. True Light's effect would allow us to special summon out a Blue Eyes. And then we have Mind Shuffle. Mind Shuffle allows us to grab our second copy of Skull, pitch our second copy of Skull. Skull's effect lets us pitch the second copy of the Ritual, adding the Black Luster to hand. Then because we do have Majesty face down, and we have 2 Blue Eyes, we can get rid of both of our opponent's cards. Oh. We'll use Ultimate Dragon's Negate. This is something I didn't think about yesterday, but because we have Majesty in the graveyard, we can banish it, sacrifice, summoning the Black Luster by by destroying Blue Eyes. Pretty slick, if I do say so myself. Now with True Light, we don't have any targets currently, but we do have our copy of Light and Darkness Ritual engraved, letting us grab the skull from our grave as well. Then we have, we don't have any space for him. I should have put someone up here, but we have all we need to OTK at this point. So we can grab our Mage and discard the Sage. We can then go into battle, and it doesn't really matter who we use. We can go in with Magia and Black Luster for 3,000, making it 8,000 even. So, let me try one more quick test hand, see how this one does. We don't have any reason to use the Fua in hand. So we can discard the Black Chaos, using Black Chaos to get the Mind Shuffle. Mind Shuffle's effect will trigger, fetching the Skull, pitching the Skull, Skull's effect, sending away the Light and Darkness Ritual, grabbing the BLS. But we really don't have a lot of other plays right now, so we can do this. Ritual summon the BLS using the Black Chaos in hand. And that's pretty much our opening move. So when it does brick, it can be to a varying degree. But with Mind Shuffle still online, it's easy enough to kind of mitigate. We can get rid of the Fool on this situation. We have stuff on board. And look at that, we get our Maiden. Discarding the Maiden. I'm not going to activate anything in response. We get our True Light, which basically puts our entire deck and strategy online. So, now we can go True Light, grabbing Wishes. And sure, we can use Mind Shuffle, grabbing a Griffo, pitching our Ash, because we do not need Ash Blossom. We can then go Wishes, discarding the second copy of Mind Shuffle, grabbing the we don't have a way to get to a Blue Eyes unless so we can go Roar and Sage. We can use Griffo's effect, so that way we don't take any battle damage this turn. We can then normal summon off Sage. Sage's effect fetches us our Effect Veiler. We can use Sage to link summon, getting into our Spirit Dragon, who will add the Mausoleum to hand. We can then do Roar for a Blue Eyes and defense. And we have our additional normal summon. Next we have Wishes. We banish that to equip the original Ultimate Dragon. Then we get rid of that for Tyrant. We can then use Spirit Dragon's effect, grabbing us a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Maiden's effect then triggers, summoning herself in defense. Next we do our Veiler with Blue Eyes, going into Spirit Dragon. We will go right ahead and use Spirit Dragon's effect to go into Ultimate Dragon. We'll use Mausoleum, targeting over to our Maiden. Maiden's effect will then activate. We're not going to chain it. We'll summon a Blue Eyes once more. And we'll send a Blue Eyes to the grave. That done, we get our second Blue Eyes Spirit on board. We'll immediately turn into a Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon's effect. Let us go right into Cypher Divine Dragon. We're still not done. We can then use Light and Darkness Ritual, fetching us our copy of Black Chaos. And we can use Skull's effect, returning our 2 copies of Spirit Dragon and the Mind Shuffle we have in the grave. Skull comes out. And then we can go Ritual Summon. And for the Ritual Summon, we can go the Griffo as full cost. Summoning out our Ritual Monster, and then his effect then triggers. Because he was summoned, I can add back our Ritual spell. And I can also activate his additional effect, banishing 1 card. And that goes face down, which is a nice touch. So now our Blackluster Soldier will swing in. He'll gain 1,500. I'm not going to chain it. And then he'll attack a second time. And just because I can, I'll use Called By, getting rid of the Skull Servant. So that way it'll stop alerting us. In a normal match, that would not be the case. And then I go in with the win. So, again, this deck is a lot of fun. It's fairly consistent. I wouldn't say it's perfect by any means. but it is a lot of fun. Looking ahead a little bit, there's still a little bit of work I need to do on this particular build. I'm obviously not running those, and I don't need to run Kaiba Man at all like I thought. So this was an initial build I had for it. Obviously I have a couple copies of the OCG stuff, the new Blue Eyes, and the Black Skull Dragon that's coming out. I think those are really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to both of them. And then I do have a Sacred Beast build. Like I said, I'll do a proper video for those later. But I like this build a lot. I wasn't looking to buy this Card of the Soul. So I opted to not go with that build. I did mess around a little bit with a Blue Eye Sacred Beast deck. I just found it too inconsistent. And then there's obviously the pure Sacred Beast. So a lot of decks to kind of look at. I'm really happy that there's been a lot of new stuff coming out because it gave me a chance to really play around again. So next time around, I'll probably do the Sacred Beast Ritual version just to kind of do something different. It's not Blue Eyes, 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 Odion, Blue Eyes, Master Magia. Just to do something that isn't technically a dragon deck. So next time around it will be the Sacred Beast deck, like I said. And until then, please give the channel a like and subscribe if you haven't. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next one.